Hey folks, Sweegie at the desk here after what has been a very stressful, anxiety-inducing, and miserable 24 hours. My Discord was compromised due to a social engineering browser hijack. I almost lost my Google account too, but thankfully I had protections in place that saved that from getting compromised. So, as it stands, I'm kicked out of a whole bunch of servers. If you have any Discord messages from me at this time, ignore them. I should be back up and running on that account tomorrow. Unfortunately, in my haste to recover from the attack, I did a clean install of Windows 11. I formatted my hard drive, and everything was backed up, except my Out of the Park Baseball 26 folder. So that's how we're at. There's no more gonna... The Flying Purple Baseball Beaters is over. Saturday Scouts over. I'm going to take a hiatus, recombobulate, and figure out where things are. I may come back with Power Pros. I may come back with something else in Out of the Park. I mean, Saving Mike Trout, Out of the Park 27, Spring 2026. I'm still committing to that. You're not getting rid of me that easy. But in the meantime, I am going to be offboarding from affiliate, so that way those who subscribe won't be charged. I'm taking a break from that much at least. And with all that said, let's hit the intro and get underway with the draft, the content I was hoping to do today. Please enjoy. It's me because I still haven't updated the logo from Out of the Park 25 on the title screen. Okay, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Grandest Salami, this is an online league I participate in, and hopefully still will after this whole Discord fiasco, where they have included the JPBO mod from Project Isekai no Yakyu. If you want to download it yourself and add it to your own saves, check out the link in the chat right now. The way we do the draft is exactly like League Redacted does, in which it's a lottery system. Every team can nominate any player, and as long as nobody else calls that player is yours. But if someone else calls the player, it's off to the spin of the wheel to see who gets their rights. Then we're going to backup options and backup options. This is something that I've truly enjoyed doing because it brings the style of Out of the Park or League Redacted into Out of the Park in an unofficial way. And I'm just going to pull up the lottery stats. Of the teams in the JPBO, the Chiba Pirates have won the most, or have the best record in the lotteries, going 5-5, and 3 times going uncontested in the first round. The worst luck, well, it's either the Sendai Woodpeckers, who are 3-11, or the Saitama Panthers, who went winless in their first 5 seasons and are 2-8. New GM this year, Snaggle J for the Saitama Panthers. Will be interesting to see how they fare. All right, let's head now to the Shinagawa Prince Hotel. Not really, but hey, there's Snags. For the announcement of the draft selections. All 12 teams have theirs in, and hey, if you want to participate in this league as the Tokyo Golden Kites, this team right here, look up Old and Slow on the forums, or look up the forums thread for the Grandest Salami, and take a look on Out of the Park Discord for Old and Slow. He can connect you. Me? Not so much. At least not till tomorrow. So, let's get underway. Missed the playoffs this year after a rough slog, but hey, they may have the MVP in Tomo Senken. Miyake Kinnojo, Toshu, Torin Gakuen Koto. And first off the board is, well, possibly, is Kinnojo Miyake. Everyone had goo eyes over this guy because, yeah, he's not that great of an MLB prospect, but you look at the JPBO stats, this high schooler is dominant. Already has plus fastball and slider and could get better. The forkball's looking good. Yeah, probably change oof. But you're looking at someone who dominated in high school, did not take a loss, 8 wins above replacement. Bit of a jerk, but I'm pretty sure teams can manage. So that's the first team. Let's see who else gets nominated. Yokohama. The Astros run by Accidental Farmer. Miyake Kinnojo, Toshu, Torin Gakuen Koto. That's 2 teams in for Miyake. We knew he was going to be a top prospect. No surprise that teams are clamoring for him. Hiroshima. Saito Kohei, Gaiyashu, Rikkyo Daikaku. All right, we've got not an off the board pick, but a different one. Let me just make sure that I'm not accidentally exposing too much. There. So pretty much Major League ready here, Kohei Saito. College player, 4 WAR or better, 1 point. That's a pretty good, solid looking player. Mostly left fielder, probably going to be his home. Right field, he could do well. The gap and the avoid Ks are why you go for him. Ditto for the speed. Pretty speedy on the base paths. Kohei Saito. Will be interesting to see how he fares in the J. Saitama. Panthers newly taken over by Snaggle J. Miyake Kinnojo, Toshu, Toin Gakuen Koto. Another team in for Miyake. Tokyo Kinshi. Available if you want. Chimera, the former commissioner, briefly took over this team, but it's a pretty solid group. And of course, you're in Tokyo. Big market. Miyake Kinnojo, Toshu, Toin Gakuen Koto. And they're in on Miyake as well. Old and Slow, Mazel Tov. Tokyo Jaguars. Thank you. My Discord account is back up, so anytime you want to shoot me like a server invite via email or via Out of the Park PM, that would be much appreciated. If it'll let me connect, I will be back in. Watanabe Muneo, Gaiyashu, Sapporo Kosei Koto. All right, a new name. 3rd one so far announced. So new. He does not have a photo. Born in Date, Hokkaido. Interesting looking profile. Gap power, power eye, all valuable stuff. You can tell there's room for growth in terms of potential. I also like the outfield 60 range with a little bit of dev lab. That could be a very valuable center fielder. And lefty bat. Can't forget that. So Jaguars, possible zag here. We'll see. Tactile X, good to see you. I miss all y'all. Not having Discord sucks.
Sapporo.
The Bruisers. Missed the postseason this year. A bit of a shock to many.
Miyake Kinnojo. Toshu. Toin Gakuen Koto.
And they are in on the Miyake sweepstakes. Swimstakes. What is that?
Kansai.
That's me. Finally made the playoffs after 5 seasons in Wandering the Wilderness. Swimstakes. Yeah.
Tanizaki Kinji. Nayashu. Meishu Gakuen Hitachi Koto.
And that would be my selection. We'll see if anyone else has taken him. Kinji Tanizaki probably profiles best as a first baseman, might have a sprinks of outfield play, but you're getting him because of the avoid K and the power. Very raw prospect. Also a leader, team captains are important. Lord knows the Cubs have like 5. So we could see Tanizaki being the new man, I'm forgetting the name of my own players here. Hang on a second. Who's my third baseman? Nobunori Inaba. That's the guy's name. So Tanizaki, possibly to the Cubs. Let's see what the rest of the draft shows.
Kyoto.
Finally making the playoffs after 38 seasons. They made it to the final stage before bowing out to the eventual champion, the Sendai Woodpeckers. And for those of you in the chat from the Discord, please tell me Brandon, who runs Sendai, is okay. I was worried that he might have gotten compromised too.
Miyake Kinnojo. Toshu. Toin Gakuen Koto.
That's what, 6 teams in for Miyake? This is ridiculous. I don't think we've had more than 5 on a single player.
Nagoya.
Chody, who took the Dolphins to a pennant win and a Japan Series berth. Whoops. Thank you. Professional.
Nakamura Hisao. Toshu. Komono Koto.
All right, we've got another name on the board. This one is a pitcher. Say hello to Hisao Nakamura. You're not looking for the stuff, guys. You're looking for the ground ball potential. 3 pitches, all with a lot of downward motion. Changeup might come in. Fantastic at suppressing both balls in play and balls over the fence. Switch hitter, too. I mean, you wouldn't use him that way, but interesting. Maybe he can play a little bit of outfield in an emergency. Do the fake swap. Still, interesting high school prospect. With a couple of dev labs, this could be a very nice pick for the Dolphins.
Osaka.
Finished second, missed the pennant, and somehow lost in the first stage. My word. The Bulls might actually be on the downswing. This is basically Ludwig's league otherwise.
Miyake Kinnojo. Toshu. Toin Gakuen Koto.
7 teams in on Miyake. That matches the real-world example of Kotaro Kiyomiya, who had 7 teams go for his services. I can't remember. I think Hideo Nomo had like 7 or 8. It has been a long time since we've seen a prospect with this much hype.
Sendai.
The defending champions, the Sendai Woodpeckers. That's 2 championships in 3 seasons. Let's see who they went for.
Saito Kohei. Gayashu. Rikyo Daigaku.
And there you have it. They're in for Saito, but that means 3 teams have successfully shot their moon and zagged when everyone else has zigged. Let's take a look at the final board.
ラウンドが完了しました。抽選のご準備をお願いいたします。
Two teams in for Kohei Saito, 7 in for Kinnojo Miyake. This is a little ridiculous, folks. So, let me get the lottery stats updated. So that is Jaguars going uncontested, Cubs going uncontested, and the Dolphins going uncontested. Second time each for Cubs and Dolphins. And Jaguars. Okay, so good for them. All right, let's do the lesser of the two. 7-way contested. Oh no, I know, right? Let's see who's getting Kohei Saito, that really nice outfielder. Phoenix or Woodpeckers? Which birdies will have him? He heads to the Phoenix. Kohei Saito heads to the Phoenix. That is a win for Hiroshima. Their 5th in franchise history. A loss for the Woodpeckers. That makes it them 3-12. Ooh. That's rough. And now the biggie. 7 teams. Will Snaggle J get welcomed with the top prospect in the pool? Will whoever takes over the Golden Kites be able to rely on their services? Is this going to be a chance for the Aces to solidify their postseason hold? Only one way to find out. Panthers by a pixel! Oh my word! Snaggle J wins the lottery! I have never seen that happen before. Goodness. This is Saitama's 3rd lottery win. Everyone else take the L. Oh my, oh my. That is a huge result for the Saitama Panthers. So, now the fun part. I get to figure out what everyone's actual players should be. I know, I thought I was going to call that a tie too. For the break, I'm going to be putting on some Japanese music, as one does. This is a new band I discovered. They're basically the Dropkick Murphys of Japan. They're called the Cherry Cokes. This song is Public House. Please enjoy. I'll be right back.
「
And we are back for the second pass of the first round. There you see the results of the first selections. Congratulations to the Saitama Panthers for locking in Kinnojo Miyake, the Hiroshima Phoenix for picking up Kohei Saito, the Jaguars for getting Muneo Watanabe, the Cubs, my Cubs, for picking up Kinji Tanizaki, and Hisao Nakamura going to the Nagoya Dolphins. So let's see who might be next up at the Wheel of Destiny.
第一巡選択を希望選手千葉
松井紀久内野手銚子商業コート So, that's a new name. Finally. Another infielder, this one coming from the middle of Japan, Choshi Shogyo. Probably profiles best as a first baseman, but you are getting him not for the fielding, you are getting him for the bat. Look at this thing. And he's a switch hitter too? I mean, 45 infield range. That's a first baseman for sure. A couple of dev labs, maybe you spring some over to third. Either way, double-digit home runs in each of his seasons. That's a pretty spicy tamale. 6 wins above replacement in 34 games. Let's see if anyone else has called Matsui's name.
Yokohama
釜井幸太郎内野手都農場東コート On paper, this is a shortstop. You know, infield range, infield arm, you could definitely work with this. But you're not looking at the glove, you're looking at the bat. This is a gap, this is a gap hitter excellent. More than 1 double per game in high school. Almost double-digit triples both times. Dish saying, yes, this is a third base. Fits Yokohama Stadium quite well. If Kamai goes to Yokohama, there's going to be a lot of jerseys wearing that or being worn around over the next half decade or so. Excellent call here from the Astrals.
Tokyo Kinshi
松井紀久内野手銚子商業コート Here we go again. 2 teams in for Matsui.
札幌
Bruisers back up at the board. 松井紀久内野手銚子商業コート 3 in on Matsui. Is everyone like cribbing notes off everyone else?
京都
Aces looking trying to get back on board. 西村時人内野手東海大学 And so we've got an infielder here from the college level. This might be one of those pretty good bat-only guys. You look at that second college season where he put up a 1121 OPS, and Tokai University's in that Tokyo area. They're not in the Tokyo Big Six. I noticed there were a couple of names coming from Waseda University and Rikyo, but the bat's there. For a lefty bat, you could do a lot worse. Just needs a little bit of refinement. That's fair caged wisdom. I think everyone got goo-goo eyes over Miyake and tried to outthink the Thunkers.
Osaka
渡辺豪輝内野手広陵コート Another third baseman prospect, it was between Tanizaki and this guy. I avoid K priority, so good luck trying to get him off the base. 608 on base percentage. committed to Waseda, so if you draft him, you're taking him away from his studies, but ooh, that could be a lot of fun. If this bat develops, Watanabe is a third baseman who you won't mind the defense because the bat will be there. Leadoff third baseman, perhaps? That's true, Meme Lord. It did for Big Ben Hori. Let's see what the Woodpeckers chose.
Sendai.
Matsui Norihisa, Nayashu, Choshi Shogyo Koto. That's 4 teams in for Norihisa Matsui. The big bopper gets a lot of attention.
ラウンドが完了しました。抽選のご準備をお願いいたします。
But congratulations to the Astrals for locking in Kotaro Kamai, the Aces for locking in Tokito Nishimura, and the Bulls for locking in Goki Watanabe. So let me do my updates over here. Might as well milk it for all it's worth because I am, as previously stated, not going to be streaming for a little while. The whole, oops, I forgot to back up my most important folder for streaming kind of puts a kibosh on a lot of plans. So at least I can keep doing this. At least. Bunt. When in doubt, always bunt. All right, so Chiba, Kinshi, Bruisers, Peckers. Let's see where this wheel lands, shall we? Whoa! Sorry. That was fun. Matsui joins the crew of the Chiba Pirates, evening their record to 6-6, which means Sapporo, Sendai, and Tokyo Kinshi are going for their third option. Oh man, the Woodpeckers. Oh no. So, another song coming up. This one's by my favorite Japanese band, the Blue Hearts. And it's one that you won't be able to get out of your head either once you hear it. Because it's certainly been lodged in mine for the better part of, a month? 2 months? I had to import a CD from Japan just for this thing. This is Train. Round 3 coming up in just a moment.
裸足のままで飛び出してあの列車に乗っていこう土砂降りの痛みの中を傘もささず走っていくやらしさも汚らしさもむき出しにして走っていく聖者になんてなれないよだけど生きてる方がいいだから僕は歌うんだよ精一杯でかい声で見えない自由が欲しくて見えない自由を打ちまくる本当の声を聞かせておくれよトゥエントゥエン走ってゆけトゥエントゥエンどこまでもトゥエントゥエン走ってゆけトゥエントゥエンどこまでもトゥエントゥエン走ってゆけトゥエントゥエンどこまでもトゥエントゥエン走ってゆけトゥエントゥエンどこまでも
See what I mean? Catchy. Anyways, let's get back to the floor. 3 teams remaining. The Golden Kites, the Bruisers, and the Woodpeckers. Let's see who they are taking.
第一巡選択を希望選手東京近市
田中明外野手海星学園 So, Akiro Tanaka, an interesting call, probably profiles best as a corner outfielder. Again, Avoid K plays very good in the J, so no surprise here. You're talking about someone who strikes out less than 15 times in a season. Maybe not much of a base stealer, but with the doubles power, you may not need it. It'll be interesting to see how he fares in Tokyo Dome, with all the air currents rushing around him.
札幌
大崎三十郎が内野手土浦日本大高等 So that would be another infielder. I'm noticing we have a good run of infielders at this point. And yeah, another power bat. High school power bat. Probably does not move off 6'9" at age 17. What are they feeding this kid? Whoa! The gap power, not so much. The home run power, yes, very. That's a great call. Great selection for the Bruisers. The next Big Ben? Maybe. Probably DHing more than Big Ben, but hey, durable. That height. If he bulks up, he's going to be a problem.
Kyoto
And we'll see if there's one more spin of the wheel. Who did the aces take?
大阪
Whoops, hold on. I hid the... Wait, didn't the aces... Yeah, aces already got their dude. Sorry, trying to delete it. Professional.
仙台
Sasaki Takakane, Toshu, Nichidai Fujisawa Koto. One more pitcher available. And that means everyone's choices are locked in. Takakane Sasaki is an interesting option. A high school senior. You're hoping the splitter develops. And you're hoping the stamina improves. Otherwise, you were looking at a closer par excellence. And maybe the Woodpeckers need that? I mean, they did just win the Japan series. We'll see. Yeah, Caged Wisdom did a late zigzag to put Muneo Watanabe as their top choice. So, excellent move there. And that brings us to the end of our draft.
ラウンドが完了しました
There it is, folks. The first round is locked in. Once more, through the order, Chiba Pirates will be getting Norihisa Matsui. The Yokohama Astrals getting Kotaro Kamai. The Hiroshima Phoenix getting Kohei Saito in a lottery. The Saitama Panthers bringing home the big win, Kinnojo Miyake to Saitama. The Dome will keep him for sure. Tokyo Golden Kites getting Akiro Tanaka. The Tokyo Jaguars, their cross-town rivals, getting Muneo Watanabe. The Sapporo Bruisers will get Sanjuro Osaki. The Kansai Cubs adding Kinji Tanizaki. The Kyoto Aces adding Tokito Nishimura. The Dolphins getting Hisao Nakamura. The Bulls will be adding Goki Watanabe. And the Sendai Woodpeckers adding Takakane Sasaki. I am starting the draft as soon as I load the first round. That way we can actually try and finish on time, Ludlud. And I do have an invite back to the server. Fingers crossed it works. If not today, then it definitely will tomorrow morning. So that brings us to the end of our broadcasting. And the end of my broadcasting for a while. I'm going to have to figure out what else I can show on stream now that my Rockies and my Netherlands saves have both gone poof. Make sure you back up your files, is all I'm going to say. And in multiple places, because I thought I did and I didn't. So, that'll do it for me. Time is precious, folks. I'm grateful you've chosen to spend some of yours with me today. And apologies, you won't be getting the chance to do that more often going forward. Fire Age, take us out. Have a great rest of the weekend. And I will see you when I see you. Might be a while. We'll see.